sexual intercourse, millions of sperms enter the vagina and swim towards the fallopian tube on their mission to unite with an ovum. The journey towards the ovum is a very difficult task. They need to go through a long journey. Many sperms will die along the way. At the end, only very few sperm will reach the fallopian tube and only one sperm can penetrate into the ovum. This sperm is the fittest of all. So, all of us are made of the fittest sperm and we are the champion. So, be confident and believe in yourself. We are born in this world to achieve great things. To understand in detail this topic, let's look at fertilization and pregnancy and also the factors affecting the development of a fetus and baby. You have learned in last subtopic that fertilization is a fusion between sperm and ovum. What happens after fertilization? During sexual intercourse, semen containing millions of sperms are deposited from the male penis into the female vagina. The sperm then swim from the vagina to the uterus through the cervix. The tail of the sperm enables the sperms to swim up to the fallopian tube. If mature ovum is present in the fallopian tube, the sperm will surround the ovum. Only one head of one sperm will successfully penetrate the membrane of the ovum. The tail of the sperm is left outside the ovum. The nucleus in the head of the sperm cell fuses with the nucleus of the ovum to form a zygote. So, the fertilization takes place. The goal of a sperm is to fertilize an ovum. To do so, the sperm cell must pass through a long way and challenging path. During sexual intercourse, millions of sperms are ejaculated into the vagina, but only very few sperms will reach the fallopian tube. They have either run out of energy or knocking on the door of the wrong fallopian tube. Some sperms may have neutralized by the hostile cervical fluid and die. So, a sperm finally reach and unite with an ovum. The sperm must be the fittest sperm. This means that all of us are made of the fittest sperm and we are the champion. Immediately after fertilization, the zygote moves along the fallopian tube to the uterus. During the journey towards the uterus, the zygote divides many times. By the time it reaches the uterus, it becomes a ball of cell known as embryo. Okay, embryo. Upon reaching the uterus, the embryo implants itself on the uterine lining where it develops into a baby over the next 9 months. Implantation usually occurs about 7 days after fertilization. So in other words, after fertilization, the zygote will divide to form an embryo, and then the embryo then attaches itself onto the lining of the uterus. So this is called implantation. So an ovum or an egg fuses with a sperm to form a zygote. After zygote is formed, it divides itself and becomes embryo. Then from embryo develop into fetus and finally become a baby. Let's look in more detail. So from week 1 to week 4, hands and feet will start to form. The embryo has a tiny tail. From week 7 to week 9, nose, ears and fingers will be visible. From week 10 to week 19, embryo will look like a baby, and the embryo is now known as a fetus. So from week 20 to week 37, fetus will resemble a baby, looks like a baby. Okay, from week 38 to week 40, fetus is formed completely, and the fetus turns until the head is engaged at the cervix. The muscle of the uterine lining will contract strongly, the amnion will burst, and the amniotic fluid will be released. Fetus is pushed out of the uterus through the vagina and then out of the body. So a baby is formed. Next, let's look at the importance and function of the placenta and the umbilical cord. How does a fetus obtain nutrient and oxygen inside the uterus? And how does a fetus remove its waste? As the embryo grows, a placenta develops in the wall of the uterus. What is placenta? Placenta is a temporary organ during the pregnancy that is made of tissue from both embryo and the mother. The fetus is connected to the placenta by the umbilical cord, which contains the blood vessels of the embryo. So let's look in more detail about the function of the placenta. The placenta attaches the embryo to the wall of the uterus and contain a large mass of blood vessel. Okay, as you can see here, a lot of blood vessels. Then, placenta prevents blood from the mother and fetus from mixing, yet allow the exchange of substances between the mother and the fetus. So nutrient, oxygen and antibody pass from mother to fetus through the umbilical cord. As you can see, this is mother's blood and this is the fetus blood. So the nutrient, oxygen and antibodies were diffused from mother's blood into the fetus blood and it is sent through the blood vessel inside the umbilical cord into the fetus body. Okay, you can see from this diagram also. Then the waste product such as carbon dioxide and urea will pass from the fetus through the umbilical cord, then will be sent out from fetus blood into the mother's blood. Okay, so this is the functions of placenta. So next, look at the umbilical cord. So umbilical cord is a tube that connects the fetus to the placenta. It contains blood vessel of the embryo that transport substances between the fetus and mother. Okay. Next, we look at amnion. So this is amnion. It is a thin and strong membrane that forms a sac and encloses the fetus or the embryo in the uterus. It also known as water bag or amniotic sac. So inside this amnion contain amniotic fluid. So amniotic fluid act as a cushion to support and protect the fetus for any mechanical shock or sudden knocks. Next, let's look at the factors affecting the development of a fetus and baby. Why is the nutritional requirement between a woman who is pregnant and one who is not pregnant different? You have learned fetus obtain nutrients and oxygen from the mother in last subtopic. A pregnant woman must have a healthy and balanced diet and take good care of herself to deliver a healthy baby. The calorie requirement for a pregnant woman is higher. A pregnant woman needs more carbohydrate, protein, calcium, vitamin A, iron, and vitamin C. Pregnant woman needs more fiber. Fiber can be obtained from, for example, cereal, vegetables, and fruits. So the function of fiber is to prevent constipation. Iron that can obtain from liver, red meat, and fish is for the formation of hemoglobin to prevent anemia. Then, pregnant woman also needs more carbohydrate and fat. So examples are rice, bread, butter, and cheese. The function is to provide energy for daily activities. A pregnant woman also needs more vitamin C. Examples of food that you can obtain the vitamin C from are citrus fruit, guava, and tomatoes. The function is for the skin health of fetus and mother and to prevent bleeding gums. So if you want your baby to have very nice skin, so you should take more vitamin C. Okay, next for folic acid. Examples of food that can get folic acid are broccoli, spinach, and groundnuts. The function of folic acid, it is for the importance of the nervous system development of the fetus. So if you want your baby to be very clever and intelligent, take more folic acid. Then the protein. Examples are chicken, red meat, fish, milk, and cheese. The function, it is for the growth of a new cells and of the fetus. Okay, next for calcium and phosphorus. Example of food are anchovies, cheese, and milk. The function is for a healthy formation of fetus bone and to protect the bones and teeth of the mother. Pregnant women must not smoke and consume alcohol or drugs. The effect of smoking, alcoholic drinks, and drugs on a pregnant woman are shown here. So for cigarette smoking, the baby may have low birth weight. The baby may have a higher mortality rate, that means die easily. And then the baby may become retarded and have physical disabilities. The baby may be born premature, that means instead of 40 weeks, they may be born in a week 30 or earlier. And then miscarriage of fetus may happen. For alcoholic drink, the baby may be born with fetal alcohol syndrome. What are the characteristics of fetal alcohol syndrome? So the characteristic of baby who suffer from this syndrome are born with a low birth weight, small head measurement, retarded, and have facial abnormalities. Then for drug, fetus may have defects. Next, let's look at the importance of breast milk. A newborn baby does not have teeth and cannot eat solid food. Babies depend solely on milk as their source of nutrients. Breast milk is the best food for them because it is more nutritious compared to formula milk. Breast milk contains all the essential nutrients for a baby. Breast milk contains antibodies that can protect a baby from certain diseases. Relationship between mother and baby will become closer, and it is important for the emotional development of the baby. And baby who consumes breast milk has better digestion compared to formula milk. Pregnant women must take good care of their health because every living thing has the right to live even though it is still in the womb or uterus. Therefore, a mother must ensure that her baby gets sufficient nutrients and avoid the intake of substances that might harm her own health and her baby. A healthy baby is born from a healthy family. Your mother carried you for 9 months and then spent hours of horribly painful labor bringing you into the world. Together with your father, they worked hard and made sacrifice to give you the best life possible. So, we all should feel lucky, grateful, and fortunate for how our parents raised us. Love them and respect them. That's all for today's topic. Thank you.